Result reactions then. Balaji Telefilms is in focus. They've reported a weak set of numbers this time around. Both the film division as well as the tele-serial segment have disappointed. So in our studio now, we're joined by Nair, the group CEO of the company, to highlight their numbers a little bit more. Hi Samir, good morning to you.
Morning.
What's the big reason that you've posted such weak numbers this time around? I mean, a net loss of 28 odd crores. I understand both your segments haven't done well, but the revenues are growing both in the films as well as your commission program business, right? So what's the reason for this weak operational performance?
So I'll tell you, I'll just break it up. So the way we look at our numbers is we look at TV and movies separately. So when you look at the TV business year on year has actually grown on a half-yearly basis. There are a lot of new shows come on. So like as compared to last year when we had about 6 shows, this year we're going to be doing about 10 shows.
Okay.
So this is also the period where, this is a lot of new shows are starting. So they have much lower margins at this point in time. But then as the year progresses, the TV business is actually going gangbusters.
Okay.
And we're doing really well. The film business, of course, has been the disappointment, and this quarter sees the full impact of this unfortunate incident that happened with us with the leak of Great Grand Masti. This was the movie that got leaked 21 days before the release. So that really set us back. So that combination of that movie and Flying Jet, which didn't do as well, is what's reflecting in this quarter. So actually the reason for this is the TV business is actually not, as you say,
So how long will it take for this TV business to turn around? I mean, how long
Actually, the way the TV business works is that it works on revolving quarters. So the quarter in which shows launch, they have a reduced margin.
Okay.
And then the next quarter they stabilize and we go back. So the ideal way to look at the TV business is on an annualized basis.
All right.
Because, then that takes care of the effect of the lower quarter.
Right.
So like this year when it ends, we'll have 10 shows on air, a lot of very big high margin shows, and all in a stable manner by the time March end comes.
All right, Samir, that point's well taken then. So for the second half of the year, for your TV business, how should the numbers look? Will the profitability increase? You said a lot of high margin business. So just compare it. Tell us in the first half of the year, what have you done in terms of margins for your TV business?
I think on an annual basis, because the first half, I think we're operating at closer to a 20-25% margin.
Okay.
I think that gross margin will go up to 35%. And on an annual basis, we should grow year on year by about, I think, 20%. Now, from a revenue point of view, as in from a profitability point of view, that might be a little lower. That is primarily due to other income. Other income, which is our interest income, which comes out, which is probably lower this year. But the plan now is to sort of, get the next releases of movies happen only in the next fiscal.
All right.
Which is Half Girlfriend and Super Singh.
Are you all planning on continuing the film business? Or just trying to ask, with the various rumors in the market that suggest maybe that could be discontinued. Any truth to that?
No, actually there's no truth to that.
Okay.
In fact, even the last time when we had spoken, all that we're doing is that, this is the slate that was planned for this year, so this is the slate that played out. The next year's movies will come. Next year first comes Half Girlfriend, then Super Singh.
Right.
There are a couple more in production.
Right.
What we have done, however, is that we've sort of streamlined the movie operation. We've merged parts of it with the parent business, reduced cost, left the distribution company separately.
Okay.
And essentially it's like, I won't even call it a pause as much as a relook at what we are doing.
Will it be profitable in the second half? I mean, the film business, because currently your revenues are growing fantastic, but EBIT loss is rather large. So can we see a green tick on your film business for the second half of this year for FY18?
This year actually there's no more films.
FY18.
Oh, FY18, definitely. And honestly, even in this year, the reason why this big blip is primarily out of this leak.
Right.
If that had not happened, we would be then, I don't want to comment on whether movies would have done well or not, but we definitely wouldn't have had this scale of loss.
All right.
So you have no more films slated for this fiscal.
Right.
But you have launched 10 new shows, right? Is that the reason for the surge in marketing expenses? I mean, it's almost now at 20 odd crores.
No, marketing expenses are connected with the film releases.
Okay.
The films that release. We don't do marketing for TV.
So, from about 16 lakhs last year, what were the number of films that
we had, there was only just one film that released in the last fiscal.
Okay.
This fiscal has had 5 releases.
And this quarter?
This quarter, none. The last quarter were the 2 movies, the quarter we are discussing, which is Great Grand Masti and Flying Jet.
All right. In terms of your TV business, how does the growth pick up over there? You're launching more number of shows. I think most of your shows are in prime time. So
Right.
how do you see revenues growing from there? You know, you're already in prime time. At least if it was a 6 p.m. show, then it goes to 9 p.m. You make more money. But now, in fact, you're already, I think most of your shows are already 8 to around 10.
Right. So I'll tell you what. See, currently we are doing shows across all the channels. All the shows are doing well.
Yeah.
So we are like an absolute leader in the TV business.
Right.
Growth for us will come from. We don't have a show on Sony. So that's one opportunity for us to get back on Sony.
Okay.
We are also looking at expanding in the regions.
Okay.
So we're looking to do shows for Sun TV and for Star in South India and for the Colors Network. We are looking at this whole DD slot sale policy very seriously.
Right.
We're going to be bidding for a few slots there.
Okay.
Because in the main GEC business, we're already doing very well. We already have 10 shows, and there's sort of a limit as to how much that could grow.
All right.
Okay, what about this alt digital that was supposed to be launched in October, but now I believe you've deferred the launch to Q4?
Well, actually just Jan. We just pushed it out to Jan. We are currently, heavily into program production. So all the content is being created. We want to launch with about 8 shows and then do a new show every 15 days. So we are in production. Actually, we are receiving all the material in. The platform is ready.
Okay.
So that was just, and we also think that the Jan to March period will be a quieter period to get a launch going. Obviously, this whole demonetization and this digital cashless economy is of a great advantage, because that's what we are really punting on.
All right.
To create a digital platform and have people pay for it.
All right. Samir, just a couple of points before we let you go. For this all digital, how much have you already incurred in terms of expenditure? That's the first part of my question. And the second part of the question, demonetization. Do you all pay any of your suppliers? How does it impact your business?
Well, honestly, so first on alt, so far we would have spent about 10 crores.
Okay.
But the real expense will start from Jan, when we take content delivery and then really start spending on that. We had raised money earlier this year. So the total outlay for alt at this point in time is about 200 crores. And then as the year goes along and it launches, then we'll see how that goes. Demonetization, honestly, for us, because we are the TV business and the film business is primarily now over the years has become pretty straightforward as a check business. There are certain payments that do happen with regard to daily workers, and
so it doesn't impact you all. That's a short point.
No.
You don't see much of an impact.
No,
finally,
not really.
You were saying 200 crores you're going to be spending on this all digital. From where does the money come?
We raised 150 crores.
Okay, so you already
that's
already in the.
That's already capitalized, and we are putting. Balaji will invest 65 crores, and then we'll see next year whether we need to raise any more.
All right, Samir, we'll leave it at that. We hope you'll indulge us again next quarter. Thanks very much.
Super. Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
in. All right, so that's the word coming in from Balaji Telly. This quarter, a bit of a blip.